A forewarned meteorologist came out as we had a light rain snow mix earlier. Now just mostly cloudy with temperatures above normal in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees. I'll have your forecast coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Kim. Also, first at 4, a private family drama goes public. Why police are looking for this 4-year-old girl this afternoon and her father. Plus, Paula tackles a tricky subject for many parents.
The survey says a mammoth amount of children are gaining access to pornographic content online.
The problem is people blame porn, and it is not the porn.
But they say this is a teachable moment for the parents. I'll explain why.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, we are talking about a wake-up call for parents when it comes to our kids being exposed to pornography. A Common Sense media survey found the average age that most kids were exposed to porn is 12 years old. 15% first saw porn when they were 10 years or younger. More than half reported seeing adult content accidentally while clicking on links they didn't realize would lead to porn. About 41% reported seeing online porn during the school day. So today, Paula Tutman reached out to experts for guidance on what this means for local families. And there also are some other disturbing results. What's this about, Paula?
Yeah, hi Karen. So, this is really a sensitive topic. And so I spent a good part of the day talking to different experts actually on and off camera. And what was really interesting is the fact that this is such a sensitive topic is actually part of the problem for parents. Easy to find you. Children, native users of technology, don't have to look far to find pornographic content and don't have to work hard for it to find them.
Too much access. It's very simple for them to get online and go to whatever. You click on one thing and it takes you someplace else.
That said, the question becomes, we have the information as parents and guardians and the center of guidance for our children. What do we do with this information?
The problem is people blame porn, and it is not the porn. It is the fact that the child is watching something and not getting educated about what's actually happening.
Dr. Joe Court is a certified sex therapist in Royal Oak.
When you're a young kid and you don't know what you're watching and nobody's explaining to you that this couple, let's say you're watching, has had a conversation around what they're going to do beforehand, that the people have been hand selected, that not every body part looks like you're seeing. Nobody's talking to kids about all that.
The Common Sense media study also found that 84% of the pornographic images being viewed by children depict acts of violence, rape, choking someone in pain. And that is dangerous, particularly when children can't contextualize what they are seeing while also forming their own sexual identities.
And so now the girl thinks this is what boys want, this is what men are going to want, and boys are thinking this is what women want.
Pornography is bad, especially for children, because it's not real. It's depicting something, an act that's natural and normal and great, in an unreal fashion.
Cynthia Reynolds specializes in child counseling at First Family Counseling in Bingham Farms.
It's dangerous because if children are experiencing pornography or violent situations regarding normal sexual activities, what kind of opinions are they forming regarding that?
Which takes us back to the parental response.
Oh, I don't know how I would have handled that with my kids. Because, kids is always like 3 steps ahead of you.
Or more critically, the parental lack of response.
They should be looking through their children's phones. I always believe in that. It would be better if they could do it with the kid, especially if they're an older teen. Looking through and not shaming, but rather let's have a conversation about what you saw.
Yeah, I thought those two parents, Brenda and Yolanda, really summed it up when they said, and both of them said, listen, it's out there, it's not going anywhere. And the experts absolutely agree, Karen. And so what's the takeaway? What's the value for parents? And that is perhaps to be less shocked and more proactive in navigating children with what they're seeing, because it's probably not going to go anywhere. They can access it, and it can access them, Karen.
Being proactive, as you said, Paula, so important. Appreciate the report. Well, we have seen the sunshine come and go outside of our downtown studios, but many of you have been trapped under that cloud cover. Kim Adams using our exact Track 40 radar to show us where things stand right now. Hi, Kim.
Hi, Karen. Well, if you blinked, you missed the sunshine today, but a few places did get a little sunshine. And we also got that rain snow mix we were talking about yesterday, but that's now off to our east. Might be a couple flurries out there, but otherwise we're mostly dry tonight. 40 at City Airport and Metro, 37 in Pontiac and Mount Clemens, upper 30s up in Port Huron. We'll widen the view for you, and there's some warmth down to our southwest. Look at Indianapolis is at 51 at this hour, near 60 in St. Louis, and upper 50s in Kansas City. We'll get a little bit warmer around here tomorrow. But first we have to get rid of this cloud cover, and we're not going to do a great job of it. Tomorrow still looks to be mostly cloudy, but you can see right now Mount Clemens getting a little sunshine, but the rest of Metro Detroit pretty much covered in clouds. So the weather story, rain snow returns later in the week, a dry but cool weekend, and then another system moves in next week. I'll have your forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Kim. Police in Marysville are looking for a missing 4-year-old girl this afternoon. They believe she's with her dad, who allegedly made some statements that her mother would never see her again. State police say Liliana Nardini was last seen at a Burger King on Gratiot Avenue in Marysville. That was about 10:30 last night. Her father, Eric Nardini, was recently served with a court order to surrender the girl to her mother. Well, since noon, police have narrowed down the vehicle they're searching for. They now tell us Nardini could be driving a charcoal Chevy Silverado, model year 2018. If you see them, please call Marysville Police. We are working to get details from police about that crash at a pot grow operation on Detroit's east side. You can see a big hole left in the building on Gratiot near Hazel Ridge. There are several marijuana plants inside. We've got calls into police to find out more about the investigation. Republicans in Congress are pushing for what they call a damage assessment of some classified documents found in a Washington office connected to President Biden. The new revelations are drawing some comparisons to the investigation that led to that raid at the home of former President Donald Trump. Kimberly Gill in the newsroom. And Kim, the White House is trying to highlight the differences between the two.
They are, Karen, and good afternoon to you. The documents were discovered as the president's attorneys were clearing out the offices of the Penn Biden Center, where Joe Biden kept in office after he was vice president. The Department of Justice says it's looking at a small number of documents with classified markings. The White House says they were found in a locked closet and turned over as soon as they were found back in early November. Attorney General Merrick Garland has assigned a U.S. attorney appointed by President Trump to oversee this review. You'll remember Trump's Mar-a-Lago home was raided and hundreds of documents were found after Trump refused to surrender them. Democrats are blasting some of the comparisons of the two situations coming from Republicans.
This is Republican hypocrisy at its finest. When the former president had 320 documents found at his personal residence, they said that, quote, that will not be a priority.
When you're living in a glass house, don't be throwing stones, right? And we always felt like it was overplayed, the search of the Mar-a-Lago. I think when you're going to do that to the next president, you got to be very careful. And I think it kept changing the threshold for just how vitriolic and the hyper-partisanship. I mean, it just took it to a new level.
The discovery is one more political headache for President Biden as Republicans take control of the House and launch new investigations into his administration. Former President Trump has weighed in on social media asking, quote, when will the FBI raid the many homes of Joe Biden, perhaps even the White House, end quote. So, Karen, there's much more to come on this. We'll have more on Local 4 News at 5. Until then, though, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Always appreciate it. Thank you, Kim. Prosecutors in Massachusetts have revealed another disturbing clue in their investigation of a missing woman. Anna Walsh's husband is charged with misleading investigators, but other evidence is also coming to light today. CNN reporting sources say Brian Walsh's internet history includes searches for dismemberment and, quote, how to dispose of a 115-pound woman's body. Investigators have been searching local dumpsters, including some near the home of Brian Walsh's mother. His wife hasn't been seen since New Year's Day.